Good morning, everyone. And please silence your cell phones. We will start with the statement of being, Unity statement of being, followed by the 5 Unity principles. Unity statement of being, there is one presence and one power in this church, in our lives, and in the universe. God the good and omnipotent. The 5 Unity principles. Number 1, God is absolute good, everywhere present. Number 2, God lives in us, therefore we are inherently good. Number 3, we are co-creators with God and create our experiences through our thoughts. Number 4, prayer is creative thinking that heightens our connection with God Almighty. And number 5, it is not simply enough to know these principles, we must live the truth we know. And please stand and turn to hymn number 2 in your hymn.
And so as we breathe in this beautiful morning, I just invite you to take a deep breath into your bodies and allow yourself to really feel the invigoration of nourishing oxygen that moves through your body now. Just take a deep breath in, lifting your shoulders, moving them back, relaxing physical, beautiful body temple you inhabit that is guiding you through this lifetime. So as you breathe and as you relax it and as you give it permission to just be fully seated, fully rested, opening your heart, with each successive breath, simply allow yourself now to fall into a deeper state openness and receptivity. Breathing in, letting go, and allowing yourself now to know that at the base of every with each breath. Breathing. Drawing it all the way up through the top of your head. Bringing order as it arises in you. Peace. Peace. Allow that to be your mantra now, in silence. Peace. And with the out-breath, know that you are releasing peace into the world. For whatever peace there may be in the world, it will only be through us that it will come. And so it is for us to be at peace first, and then speak peace. Bring peace, to be peace. Breathing again, deeply, all the way in and all the way out. And bring your focus now to your heart center. Allow the breath itself to move, soften, relax, and open your heart center now. Feel it expanding. Feel it opening. Because it is in this portal of the heart that we draw love from an infinite source. We allow love to flow into us, through us, beyond us, resting within us, through us and as us. Love. Love speaks through us. Love heals through us. Love connects us. Love magnetizes the field around us, bringing opportunities to love, bringing opportunities for love to be exchanged, to be recognized in one another. Holy gift of love. We take another deep breath in. Feel ourselves drawing more peace, more love. And deep within us, then our being vibrates truth. Resonates within us now. Deep truth within us that knows what is, that we may see it wherever we look, beneath appearances. Beneath what the world would give to us, and what others may falsely believe they are. We see the truth, and we speak to it. We call it forth. We feel the truth now and recognize it as we live our lives. Moment by moment. Let us sit in the truth and its awareness, and our awareness of it within now. We take another deep breath into our beautiful bodies, adjusting our shoulders, back, and recognize that as we become more aware of our bodies once again, service be our purpose, how we may serve the world with our words, with our hands, with our hearts, with our presence, with our awareness of the truth, of our sharing our love, of our remembering that peace is always here. However we are guided, wherever we may go, may we be a blessing. May we serve. May we love. Let it be. And so it is. Amen.
Please take our hymnals to hymn 129, Infinite Wisdom, God's Word. 1994. She served in her home church at Unity of Houston, Texas, as senior associate minister for a total of 12 years, and as a senior minister at Unity of New Braunfels in Texas for 13 years. Throughout her career, she also spent 1 year as a hospice chaplain and served on the boards of Unity South Central Region and Unity Worldwide Ministries. After retirement from full-time work in November of 2022, Reverend Karen is now spending her time exploring art, music, travel to see old friends and extended family, as well as traveling with her husband William to experience and enjoy national parks. She also spends time studying shamanism with a teacher in Wales. Please put your hands together for a warm welcome for Reverend Karen Tudor.
Thank you, Lindy. I really appreciate that. I'd also like to introduce my husband, William, to you. He's right here. He's come all the way from Texas. We're still dragging Texas energy with us all the way here. So we're thrilled to be here with you and in your lovely, beautiful sanctuary and rich with history. We were reading about how your church how long it's been really led by such beautiful women leadership. It's so exciting to see that, and to know that my dear friend Stephen is now taking that over, and he's got a very he's got a feminine, loving energy about him. I wouldn't say it to his face, but there's just something really loving about him, the way that he kind of holds that space. So, and he's learning, and he's growing, and you are the beneficiaries of his leadership. So very happy to be here with you. What I wanted to share with you today is Touchstones on the Path, because I've called it that because it's kind of like some things that I have learned in the 30 years that I've been doing Unity ministry and learning about Unity, that has really impacted me, and the things that I fall back to. Because you learn so many things. I'm sure every time Reverend Stephen gives a lesson, you want to write that down. You think that's going to be the thing you're going to do from now on. And if it even lasts through the week, that was a great sermon. I know, because I did the same things. I write it down, or I think I'm going to remember. But what is it that you really keep coming back to? And the things I can tell you is that the things that you use in your life, that you really use, you become, they become digested in you. That's kind of how I've noticed in my own experience. I digest them some way. They kind of integrate deep in me. And it becomes the truth I know. It becomes the thing I know, not just something that I'm trying to remember or trying to still stick into my head to keep me going. Charles and Myrtle Fillmore did very similar things in coming up with Unity. They shared their experience and their learning from other New Thought teachers of their time. And then they formed Unity from their understanding, their digested understanding of it. And so we are the beneficiaries of that richness, of that life, and all of the teachers and ministers and all of those who have written books about how to apply truth to your life, all that have come from it. All the teachers that have impacted you before you even knew there was such a thing as Unity, before you walked in here, or wherever you have walked on your path here. Teachers continue to come along that inspire us and show us their way in their own world, And so these are my digested truths. I call it sort of like a working theory. I have a science background, so a working theory is kind of like in scientific practice. If you have a working theory, it's a premise that you're holding while testing and staying open to other interpretations or new evidence that may challenge or even change the assumption that you're holding. And hopefully it strengthens it, but you really, as a true scientist would tell you, they're not aligned with a particular idea. They're simply holding it because that's where the evidence leads them. And they stay open to being led in a completely different direction or an opposite direction if the evidence appears. Because that, in search of truth, is really all that they're looking for, not to be right or to have the only answer. But hopefully it strengthens the assumptions that one practices from, and while you're sharing them with others, invite them to disprove or strengthen it with new information, all in pursuit of truth. That's what Charles Fillmore said. He said, try this. Don't take it on my word. Don't do it because I told you. Because he knew how fruitless that would be. That wouldn't last 10 minutes out the door, you know? Just because I got told to do something doesn't mean I'm going to live like that, unless it works. And the only way you know is to apply it. And so I'll just start at the beginning. The meditation I led you through has the 4 pieces that I want to share with you today. The first one that we meditated on was peace. Peace is the goal. When I get into crazy world, crazy town, when things are coming at me from every, I'm all thrown off. I'm yelling, screaming, crying. I'm scared. I'm stiff. I'm starting. Whatever it is. I'm nagging. Whatever it is that I'm trying to do to get my peace again, I have to remember that it's not something I have to go get. It's something that is already deep in me. And then all I have to do is just take a breath. Do it with me now again. You go right back there. You don't even have to close your eyes. You can feel it just gain mass. Can you not feel it gain? It's that beautiful, centered groundedness. It's a groundedness. It's always the first one that begins to guide me back to my path again. Sometimes that's all I need. Sometimes I'm starting to think maybe it's the one, and the other 3 I'm about to tell you are just corollaries. I'll let you decide that. What peace is and what it isn't. First of all, some of you were already turned off when I went peace. I'm like, oh, peace is so stupid. Peace is not passivity. It's not passivity. It's not inactivity. It's not withdrawal from the world. There's a lot of people think, well, it's all an illusion. We're just gonna step out. There's nothing for us to do. Well, I don't know, but we have physical animal bodies rooted in the ground. We thought this was a really good idea to come as spiritual beings to be in physical form. We got a purpose. We have a reason. We've got things to do here. We should be about them, but we should be holding our spiritual guidance as how it is that we will know what is ours to do, to be effective. So peace is not withdrawal from the world, and it's not dependent on what you do or what you do not do. There isn't a model for you to know how to be peace, how to look like you're in peace. It is only to be there. It's only the presence that one has in your deep beingness that will inform what you do and what you don't do. You know that. Breathe. Peace is always within us. It does not matter what chaos is flying around us. It does not matter what others are doing, what they're not doing. It does not matter. It does not matter what the world is doing. It does not matter what the world says it's doing, calling you, showing you, dragging you into. It only matters that you remember that you are grounded in peace, and it is always here, always here, always here, always within you, because it takes us to remember it, to bring it into the world. Peace will never come from the world to you. Oh, there's a beautiful sunset from time to time. All the things align. It was the best party ever. It was a beautiful wedding. It was something gorgeous. But it didn't come about in that moment that touched you as peace. It resonated with the peace you already bring. It was you who showed up. It was you who witnessed. It was you who forgot about yourself for a minute, and you allowed yourself to interact with this beautiful world around you, and you brought it. The peace always comes from us. The way that you can also use your time, we did it in our meditation, to just be in a moment of just peace. You can also use a vocal sound. You know, many of you probably are familiar with using the toning of om, deep. Just let the, it's not so much even the sound, but the vibration. Let the vibration go through you. You can hum. You can feel yourself resonating with that vibration. In doing that, you hold that space in yourself. You remind yourself. I do that for me when I need to bring it down a notch. Would you like to try? All right. I'm going to invite you just now. Take a deep breath in and out. Brought peace. So the second thing that I like to use in times of challenge and trouble is sometimes, once I'm at peace, I do ask, what am I supposed to do here? What is mine to do? And I really don't know which way to go. How do I get through this? Sometimes is it. I have to remember that love is the way. Love is the way. Love is the way. And love is not just loving everything, and I'll give you some clues about that. It's not transactional. It's not you have to love everything or love everything everybody does or says. You don't. You just have to remember that deep down inside of them there is something lovable about them. There is something innocent about them. And they're in the same way that I make a lot of mistakes. I mess up a lot out in the world. But there is something deep inside of me that is true, that is authentic and good. And that's going to be true in every situation. So how to navigate through the situation is to open your heart first to freedom and expansiveness just through the breath. Just relax and just try to soften and open. See the innocence. Start to feel compassion for what they don't know, for how hard they're trying, how much suffering you see them coming from. If they're creating trauma in the world, if they're creating upset, think of what's going on inside of them. Where are they coming from? How are they living? Can you feel some compassion? You know, there really is another way to not be a doormat and don't accept poor treatment or anything, and call things the way they are, or separate yourself, or walk away. Whatever it is that you do, what your strategies are now, they're still useful. The key is not to harbor it and simmer with it, not to carry it away and stay upset yourself. Don't let that upset happen. Allow yourself to just pass to them some peace that you would like to have them remember they are. Something that you would like to have. It will come through your heart energetically. Yes, it can come from words, anything you're inspired to say, anything you're inspired to do. But at the same time, remember that you're never discount just your intention to send love. to understand, to let go, to release yourself, and get back to the peace that you are. In other words, choosing love can overwhelm and surround judgments, anxieties, fears. They can start off by choosing love inside of you. You'll feel it starting to center you. And if it does that for you, think of what it will do if you choose love in your interaction with others. If you just send them love, whether they know you're doing that or not, whether you're in their presence or not. We call that prayer. We send love. Send love. Send love. It's never wasted. It's always effective. It will always do its holy work, whether you ever know the results or not. Love is the key to forgiveness and letting go. Love is not weakness either. It is the strongest power you possess. It is the strongest power you possess. It is what we do as humans. We love. We have that capacity. It's not wishy-washy permissiveness. It's responsible for setting boundaries for healthy relationships. Sometimes you got to say those tough things, and they call it tough love. You love because you know it's best for them. You know it's best for you. And when it's best for you, it is already also best for them. You don't let other people run over you. You don't let people hurt you. That's not good for them either. So it's important to realize that love is a powerful boundary force for good. And it's at your disposal every time you remember it. And love is not willful blindness or denial. It's not putting a happy face on everything and making everything okay. Because everything isn't always okay. And it's not always the way it should be. And even in that, you can find a way to love. You can find a way to accept the good and let go of what you want to release and what you want to see different. Love is the power from which all spiritual power arises. And you are full of it. You are full to the brim. You are. Love is not doing something, sending something necessarily. I did suggest that you could hold somebody in love. Just know that love is a field of beingness. It is a state of being that you step into. That you choose love, you become love. You become like a pillar of love. And love flows out from you. And you don't even have to keep remembering it. You just have to be in agreement with it. You just have to say, yes, this is who I am. And when you forget or when you realize you haven't been, go back and just go, this is how I really want to be. This is what I want to be. I want to bring more of this love. It is a state of being. When you're at peace, love is already there. Use it. The third thing is that sometimes when I end up having to speak or to see what is really going on around me, I have to solve problems like you do in our lives. We do have to take action. Somebody is waiting for us to make a move. Is to remember that truth is all that matters. Truth, capital T, truth. Discerning what is true, what is always true, and how it informs what is happening or my choices in the moment is all really that matters. It cuts through the illusion, the confusion, and the haze so I can see clearly, okay, this is the bottom line. In John chapter 18, Pilate said to Jesus, "You are a king then." Jesus answered, "You say that I'm a king. In fact, the reason I was born and came into the world is to testify to the truth. Everyone on the side of truth listens to me." "What is truth?" retorted Pilate. And those of you who know Scripture know there was no answer to that question. and hangs out there, even now. What is truth? And what was Jesus saying in the moment? Jesus knew that truth can only be found within an open heart. When you're looking for it, that is the only time you're going to be able to see it. You'll be able to see truth, to recognize it, to know it in the quiet within, and no one else can tell you what it is. And Jesus went silent. In not answering, he pointed to the direction. You seek the deepest truth you know for sure by asking, what is beneath this? The problem in the family, the problem in your relationship, the problem at work that you're having with a coworker or with your boss or that you're a boss and you're working and trying to figure out how things are going to move forward. Where's the vision? When you're working with things, trying to figure out what's next, ask yourself, what is causing this upset? Why do we keep doing this over and over? Why does this keep happening? What is beneath it? How do I feel? How do they feel? Maybe we could sit down together and talk about what's really going on inside of us. What's really happening here? What is beneath this? Over and over until you see the true nature of things. And ask yourself alone, what do I see here? Because anytime there's a relationship, if one of you gets an insight, gets a real insight, gets an aha, the other person, whether they're part of it, whether they hear it, whether you tell them what it is or anything, whether you share it with them or not, whether they believe you or not, it doesn't matter. When one of us changes in a relationship, when one of us shifts, when a perspective shifts, when we make a change, when we do something different, it forces others in that relationship to reconsider a response. They react differently because they have to respond differently because you're different. It is sufficient for you to make a change in your life. Don't have to expect anybody else is going to change, but trust me, they will have to change if you're consistent. And you're just not there anymore. You're not standing in the same place you were. You've stepped over. You do it different now. You bow out. You stay quiet. You speak up. You do something different. They will have to do something different. And therein lies the hope. There's such a thing as personal truth. I'm going to go here now because we are living in a world of personal truths that are getting way too out of hand, way too much in our face. It is causing division in us. Our personal truth is always perspective, subjective, partial truth. It just comes from my experience. It just comes from what I can see. It just comes from what I know, from what I put together in my life. Just the set of things that I'm teaching you from today, they're my working theory. But they come from my life. They come from what has worked for me. And my list is short because it's missing the things that have meant something to you. You will make your own list, I trust. You're making it already. But my personal truth has some value and to be heard. And that's its usefulness. And it should be always shifting and changing as I shift and change. Because I need to be heard by others. And you need to be heard by those you are in relationship with, to honor your experience and to understand you. But to remember that it is not absolute truth. Absolute truth is very different. It's always with you, it's always been true, and it's deep, deep within you. Personal truth is aligned with your ego and what you've made things mean in your experience. Often when we want to make our experience true for everyone, we need to run around and enroll people into our view of the world. Does that sound familiar? Everybody needs to know what I think and what I've just learned, and it's so exciting, and I want everybody to affirm me in this. I want you to believe it too, because it's the truth, it's the new truth that I just found. Right? The experience of truth that I have to make everybody believe just shows how lack of confidence that I have, how little confidence I actually have. I need every single person to agree with me or else I get mad. You know that. If you find that in yourself, you haven't quite found the whole truth yet. Because when you have gotten a hold of the absolute truth, you'll rest in it. You'll feel peace in it. You may share it, but you have no need whatsoever for anyone to believe you, or to pick it up, or to use it. You offer it as a gift, but you are not shaken in your understanding. That's how you know you have a hold of absolute truth. You have no need to convince anybody of it. You'll take them and pursue your own experience of peace, of love, and truth, and know yourself as them. Know that you're bringing it when you speak, because you'll know where it resides in you. Absolute truth is a function of love and peace, and the absolute principles of the universe. Whenever you're able to get back to peace or love, they're really right there together. Truth will be there too. And then you'll know. Be still and know that I'm God. And the fourth thing for me, my touchstone, that anytime I try to decide, should I do this? Should I get into that group? Should I serve in that way? Should I join this? Should I lead that? Whenever I have to ask myself, what roles next? What should I do? I remember that service is my purpose. Service is my purpose. And I mean that on a big, big way. All I care is not what kind of role I have, but can I offer my gifts in this way to serve? All I want is to put it out there. I want to bless the world. I just want it to be out there. I don't want any left over here when my soul gets wherever it's going. I want it to be emptied out or full. I don't know which way it's going, but whatever way it is, I want to have used every bit of it. Why am I here? Why does this matter? What is the meaning of my small temporary life? What is yours? What are your answers to those questions? Why are you here? Why does any of this matter? What is the meaning of my small temporary life? You know, we're not talking career. We're not talking how you make a living. We're not talking about what you do with the people who are around you who expect you to fill this role or be that to them. You're including it. Those are the things that you're doing, but that's not all you are. And it's not necessarily going to be the only answer you're ever going to give either. Our learning, our gains, our attainments, they're not just for us. They're to be shared with the world. There are times when even unable to move or speak, we can still radiate peace, still choose love, still live from truth. Remember that this is my purpose. When I was a hospice chaplain, I learned so much in that year. I visited comatose patients and sat with them in prayer very often. That was often what I got to do. Gosh, what a great job I had. And I remember two different patients. One client was a woman who was comatose, but her body was restless and she was rhythmically moving like this. all the time. Every time I would go in there, more often than not, it almost writhing, but it was very rhythmic, moved in a constant rhythm. It seemed, in some ways, I felt, because I just kind of went into myself and tried to reach into her. What would drive that? What would move that? And I don't know her diagnosis. I don't know. I have a healthcare background, but that really wasn't where I was needing to go. And I'm sure there's explanations for it in some way. But what it felt to me like on a spiritual level, what was that? What was she working out? And almost always it's looking for forgiveness. It's looking for some kind of restlessness, some kind of answer, some kind of place where she could just relax and let go. There was another man that I visited who was also in a coma. He had a neuromotor disease where he lost, I don't remember which one it was, but he lost all his ability to move. He was paralyzed completely. And then he had gone into a coma. But in his room, and even though I had never met him before all of this, before he reached that state, I saw pictures of him with family and all as they would be in the room. But he was just a glowing light. His eyes were closed, he looked like he was just resting, but the whole room was full. I mean, it was like walking into a chapel. It was like walking into a place where prayer had happened. It was just beautiful. Did it come from him? I don't know. He sustained it. His body was there. He wasn't speaking, interacting. He wasn't doing anything but being. He was being. There were people who told me that worked there, that when they took their break, they came and sat in his room to refresh themselves. Service is my purpose. It doesn't take anything else but intention. It doesn't take anything else but being. To let yourself be. To let yourself give. If anything you heard today returns you to peace, adds to the love, or feels true, you're welcome to take any one of these little gems, add them to your touchstones on your path, whatever brings you back to wholeness, to groundedness, to truth. I hope you'll do that, because after all, service is my purpose. God bless you all.
Thank you so much, Reverend Lawyer. Lesson. It's now time for our tithes and offerings. And we'll sing our Lord's blessing. Divine love, flowing through me, blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. Divine love, flowing through me, blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. Divine love, flowing through me, blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. In the name of the Father, in the name of the Son, in the name of the Holy Spirit, we You can find us on YouTube and on Facebook. Next Sunday, July 7th, Reverend Fleming will be back and he will be delivering a Sunday message. Mark your calendars for Sunday, July 21st, when we will be having a congregational fellowship luncheon in the family room after the service. Sacred service volunteers are needed in helping to set up and clean up afterwards. So anyone interested, one of our platform speakers or one of our welcome members know. And is everyone signed up for the newsletter? You need to be with so many things going on. And if you're not, please sign up at the front desk and give your card to fill out. Do we have any new visitors today? Anyone here for the first time? Yes? Could you please stand and introduce yourself? Tell us how you found out about Unity.
Thanks to Facebook, I found this church, and I'm very happy to be here, and I already met a couple of people I'd like to continue to develop friendships.
Wonderful.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Someone from the welcome team. Someone from the welcome team will give you a card to fill out after the service. And also behind. Oh. You don't have. Okay, go ahead.
My name is Frank Hope, and I'm here visiting my niece. I'm enjoying the service.
Maybe it wasn't you, I think it was the young fellow who raised his hand.
This is my godson.
Okay. Thanks for being here. We hope you enjoy our service. We'll come back and visit us soon. Prayer chaplains are available after the service. Our chaplains can pray with you. They will meet. You can meet them right at the front of this chapel after the service. Everything is confidential. And please note that in honor of this sacred time, please take your conversations out to the family room after the service is over. And my name is Lydia Jones. For those of you who don't know me, I've been a member here at Unity for many, many years. I'm a member of the choir. I serve as a platform speaker, and I also serve on the board. And if anyone is interested in sacred service opportunities, please speak to me or anyone else in the welcome team after the service. Thank you. I now pray for protection and on myself. The light of God surrounds